Hey everybody, my name is Erica and today I'm going to be talking to you about ebooks versus physical books. So I know this video theme has been done a lot. I've been thinking about doing it for quite a while now, and I decided to just talk about it and just kind of give you my thoughts on ebooks versus physical books and like what I like about them, what I don't like about them, all of that. So let's just get right into it. I hate when people judge others for reading ebooks or listening to audiobooks. Like whatever helps you read and like enjoy a book and understand it, just go for it. I once had a teacher in college who actually commented on the fact that I was reading an ebook and not a physical book. He judged me because I was using my Kindle and not a real book. Like had he only known that I like both and that sometimes it's easier to bring a Kindle than bring a book along. It was really annoying to me, and so I remember making a long post about it because it just annoyed me a lot. Don't ever judge somebody on what kind of books they like to read, whether it's via audiobook or ebook or just a physical book. Like, reading is reading no matter what. My tangent is finished. Ebook versus physical book. I actually tend to use both. I got my Kindle, oh my gosh, probably like, I don't even know, like 5 years ago now, maybe less, maybe more. I don't even remember. It's been a while. But I got it and I was very excited to have it. I remember really asking for it, and I have the paper white one, I think. And what I love about this Kindle is that it doesn't have a glare. It's a matte screen, so like no matter what, no matter if you're in the sunlight or anything, you can still see it really well, and it doesn't really hurt my eyes. I honestly don't know how people can read off like a tablet or a phone. I'm not judging them, but my eyes would be so strained after that, whereas with the Kindle Paperwhite, I don't really have to worry about that. It kind of feels like I'm still reading a regular book, even though I'm not, and I just really love my Kindle. It's like my favorite, and I've never seen a better version than the one that I have, so I appreciate my mom for getting this for me. What I love about the Kindle and like ebooks is that they're very convenient, and you can carry a lot of books on here without actually having to carry a ton of books, and it really helped, especially when I was moving, that I was able to like hold more books on here because I maybe couldn't bring all my books with me, and it's a lot easier than having to haul like a ton of books going places, and you can literally just have a gazillion books on here and not have to carry them all. You just carry this tiny little thin thing, and I love the case that it has, and so there's a lot of ways to make it look cute and everything. What's really nice about having my Kindle is that I can download library books. This was super handy during the first lockdown because a lot of libraries weren't open, so I was able to actually just go through apps and actually download my books. I use Overdrive. There's a couple other ones, I think Libby, but I've been using Overdrive for mine, and it's really nice. You just have to put in your library and you can see what books they have available and then check them out. So that's really convenient because not only can you download books from like Amazon and things like that, you can actually download them from your library and check them out just like you were checking out any other physical book. It's also really portable, obviously, like I said. For me, it's really nice to use my Kindle when I have to go places via transportation. I mean, I take public transit everywhere I go here, and I'm always on the bus or the train, and sometimes it's easier to just carry my Kindle rather than have to stuff a book in my bag. Especially if I'm reading a really large book, then I'd rather just bring my Kindle with something else and leave my book at home just so I don't damage it, because I'm very particular on how my books look. What's really great about having a Kindle is that books tend to be really cheap sometimes. Amazon especially is always having sales. Like you can get books for literally like $2 or like $1. They always have really good deals going on, and so you can just buy a ton of books and have them on your Kindle, and like it doesn't take up any space in your house. It's really nice, and I've noticed there are so many books that are on sale recently, like entire series, and just you can get books for really cheap, whereas like obviously buying physical books does add up. You could spend like almost $30 on a really nice hardback, whereas on a Kindle it's probably like maybe 15 or less, so it's a lot cheaper to get books for your Kindle. It's not quite as like exciting as getting like a physical book, but it's still really convenient for people who want to save money and save time and space. So my Kindle reading life is a little different. It's really hard for me to read really long, in-depth books on a Kindle. I really only read thrillers or contemporary novels. I mainly only download books from the library. I don't really buy a lot of books for my Kindle. I did recently buy The Dawn Chorus, which is a novella. A lot of times novellas come out as only ebook versions before they come out as physical book versions. The Shadowhunter Academy series by Cassandra Clare, those books were first all ebooks, and I bought all of them for pretty cheap, and then they came out as a physical bind-up. I just got The Dawn Chorus recently, which was only like $5. It was pretty cheap, but I can't remember. I'm not sure if that's actually out in physical form. Again, a lot of novellas come out only an ebook version, and then later they'll come out as physical books, so you kind of get like a perk with that. Also, you can do NetGalley and get ARCs with an ebook. I don't do that. I mean, I kind of have been looking into it, but it's really nice because you can download free ARCs and just get to know those books first through NetGalley, and maybe a couple other apps, but that's the main one that I know of. There are a lot of benefits to having an e-reader, and it's just really convenient for a lot of people, and it's a lot more enjoyable sometimes for other people. They can get their books faster. For me, like I said, I usually only read contemporaries or thrillers. I do have a hard time focusing on books with my Kindle if it's like a fantasy, so that's where I really stick to only like contemporary novels mostly. It just really depends. Also, I feel like sometimes it takes me longer to read with my Kindle. Like, I feel like it should be a faster reading experience, but sometimes I just feel like it's dragging for a long time because I just feel like the pages don't change that often, or like your percentage stays low for a while. So sometimes I just feel like it's taking me longer when really it's probably not, but it just feels like it is. Those are really the main pros and cons I have with an e-reader. Is they're really convenient and really to save time and space. It can be a really enjoyable reading experience for a lot of people. Honestly, a Kindle cannot be a physical book for me. I love reading physical books. I honestly, if I could just have like a huge library of books, it'd be amazing. With physical books, I just feel like I can get into them even better, and I love that you have beautiful covers, and just like the feeling of holding a new book in your hand is just the absolute greatest. And with Kindle, you don't really get to see those fonts. You kind of just pick a font and it's for every single book. What I like about physical books is that, you know, the fonts can change depending on what you're reading and like who's it by. Because, you know, Sarah J Maas has a font that she uses for like all of her books. Same with like any author, Cassandra Clare, they always have a specific font, but you don't really get that like specificity with a Kindle or e-reader. I love physical books because like when you have one in your hand and it's brand new, it's just such a happy experience. Whereas like if you have it on your Kindle, like it's exciting, but it's not quite the exact same feeling. I feel like I focus better when I'm reading a physical book, and I feel more into the story just because, like, I don't know, it's like it's here, like it's not a screen, it's like right in front of me, like this is what the book was meant to be. Obviously physical books do cost a lot more and they take up more space. I mean, you can buy a whole series and it takes up your entire shelf or like half of it. I mean, look at my shelves. But like there's nothing beats looking at your books on a bookshelf. That's like the main thing, of course, that I feel like everyone will agree with, is like having a physical book with you and like filling your shelves is just such a beautiful moment and a beautiful feeling. Like also, I'm not one of those people who loves like the smell of books. It is nice when you know you have a book that smells a certain way. Like, I don't know if you remember my book cover challenge. I had the Pendragon series, and the first book has a specific smell that I will never forget. It feels... No, I know what it is. I smelled it. I know exactly what it is. Like, it smells so old and like worn out, but it's like that book. I always know it. You don't get that with ebooks. With an e-reader, I tend to feel like I'm constantly like rushing because I want the percentage and like the numbers to go down. Whereas like with a real book, I mean, I'm just looking at the page number. Like with an ebook, I feel like I'm constantly racing against myself to get like the time that it's taking me to get lower, which is not really the best to be doing, but I feel like I just take more time with a longer book sometimes just to like enjoy it and like savor the words. Whereas like with my Kindle, like I said, I'm really only reading like contemporaries and like thrillers and like shorter books on those because it'd be too hard to bring around a large book with me. So that's really it, I think. I feel like those are my main thoughts with ebooks versus physical books. Nothing beats touching the cover and like holding a new book, but also there are so many advantages to reading ebooks and even audiobooks. Those are my main thoughts about ebooks versus physical books. Again, read whatever type you like and whatever feels best for you, because that's what reading is all about, is being happy and just finding what works for yourself. That is all I have for you today. If you like this video, be sure to give it a nice little thumbs up. If you want to keep following me on this booktube journey, please subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ErikaAGobble. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!